Ciao a tutti, io sono Manu di Italy Made Easy and I'm here answering questions that came from the blog Italy Wise, which I suggest you check out, but I'll stop saying it because you probably have seen the first 3 videos already. So today in this video I'm answering question number 4 and here it goes. What do you see as being the most frequent missteps when a person begins learning Italian? And Jed comments, I'm curious about your perspective on this as an Italian. For example, I've experienced people not understanding the importance of basic respect and politeness in greetings and interactions. I cringe when I hear some people say ciao to a complete stranger, for instance. I think a lot of Italians have seen too many movies and caricatures of how Italians speak and interact, and then play those out when they attempt to speak Italian themselves. And yes, I agree with Jed. The number one faux pas that I see people make when learning Italian is being too casual. Italy and the culture and the language has many levels of formality and politeness. Now, it's not as complex as the Japanese language, but we do have different levels. You have to speak at that level. So not doing it will get you not so much in trouble, but people can perceive you as being rude just because you didn't use the right level. So what does that mean? At the basic level, you have the tu and the lei. When you talk to somebody, if you use tu and all the verbs that go for tu, you are being casual. You're saying, yo buddy, hey mate. It's too casual to use with a stranger. Same goes with greetings. Ciao is for friends. So if you walk into a cafe or a bank and you say ciao, it's like saying sup. It's just not appropriate. You want to say good morning, good evening. So you want to use the formal greeting. So that definitely, I agree that not getting the formality right is a faux pas. Now, going back to a previous answer is not making an effort to pronouncing Italian as correctly as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to sound native. Nobody cares that you sound native. But you, maybe. But you have to pronounce the vowels right. You have to get your sounds right. There could be a sound or two that you are not very good at. Don't worry, as long as it's not a vowel. Okay? So you're allowed to not be able to pronounce TR correctly, like troppo. You may not be able to say it. That's fine. If you say troppo, that's fine. Try and clean it up. But as long as you are working on the vowels and as many consonant sounds as you can to get them right, okay? Why is that? It's not because you want to be perfect, but it's because in Italian you end up saying other words if your vowels are not right. There's a huge difference between Porto and Parto. Porto meaning port, harbor, and Parto it's the noun for giving birth. Totally different. They sound the same. Or when it comes to verbs, mangerei, mangerai. Mangerei means I would eat. Mangerai means you will eat. So you want to be careful with your vowels, definitely. And it happens a lot. Not making an effort to pronounce right. If you go out and you're trying to be polite and you say grazie, 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 it's like you're trying to be polite, but you're not even saying the number one word that you should be saying right. Grazie. So get the basics right, and that's gonna really open doors for you, which is actually coming up in another question. A third faux pas, I think, is not understanding that Italy not only is a place where they speak a different language that you're learning, but it's also a different culture. There are very different customs. Now, overall, it's a Western culture like yours, if you're an English speaker, so you might think that it's pretty much the same, but there are a lot of differences. There are different values. There are different rules. So the biggest mistake that you could be making is to expect things to work the same way as back home. I know it's not easy. I know that. We don't. I live in Australia as an Italian, so when I go back, I do experience the frustration of things not working, things not being as efficient as I want them to be. You know, I experienced getting to the counter of the post office and the person walking away as if I didn't exist and only coming back later. And you have to accept that it is a different culture and it is a different country. There are different usages. you don't have to accept them and do the same, but you have to at least understand that things are different. So if you're in a restaurant and service, I mean, of course, bad service is bad service in Italy as well, but if you're finding that where, you know, back home this happens, whereas here in Italy it's not happening, that's how they do it in Italy probably. So being more understanding that it's a different culture, not just a different country, really helps, I think. Anyway, questa è la mia risposta, that's my answer. Ci vediamo nel prossimo video dove rispondo a quest'altra domanda. Okay. Can you share a bit about the Italian point of view when a foreigner comes and attempts to speak the language? I guess this could be related to the question above, but I'm alluding more to how an honest and respectful attempt to speak the language can open doors and make the Italian experience richer. Personally, I've been impressed with how kind and forgiving most Italians are when I speak and mess up. They're generous, in my experience, in helping me to learn and correct myself. It's true, but what do I think about it? In the next video. Ciao, ciao.